Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. The last two episodes, as you surely recall, we tried out the no sound, no music thing, and I waited to see how people liked it. The results are in. People don't like it. I got, I think, one comment saying, "Yeah, this is great. Thanks for making this change," and I got like 7 comments and a few people liking those comments saying, like, "Man, I wish you would put the sound back in." So I will. There you go. Enjoy. I did consider looking around for music other than the Prismata built-in music, because it's pretty repetitive. There's not a lot of it, but man, the YouTube free music or royalty-free music library, I did not like it at all. I couldn't. It was really hard to search through things. Which Google's a search company. How hard could it be? But apparently it was hard. I couldn't find anything I liked. What is the deal here? There's a lot of blue and some good absorb and some good soak and not much of anything else. Apollo is normally in almost any set Apollo is not good. Here, is it good? I think that all Apollo does is stop your opponent from going Colossus. Right? I don't know. You kind of eventually have to build some steel splitters, but you could turn several of them into manticores, and then you could build Xenos. You might not have to build anything snipeable, honestly. And Doomed Wall and Shredder for your soak. You could make Apollo look pretty silly, I think. So I'm thinking we don't get Apollo. We get Xenos and Manticores and Thermite cores to play Absorb Denial games. Well, the Xeno doesn't play those games, but the Xeno is a big defender that enables you. Suppose if your opponent mirrors, of course, the Xeno won't be doing that much and you won't need it very badly. But if your opponent doesn't mirror, then Xeno is great. So you kind of want a high econ thing because of Xenos and Doomed Walls and Shredder, all this soak. But I think that we want to start with Thermites and Manticores rather than heading into Colossuses just yet. I don't know, because if you go to Colossus too early, your opponent can build a pretty good Apollo. You won't really be in a position to punish them, I think. Now the question is, do you get third Engie, or do you just go for the slower econ with Manticore and Thermite? I think you go third Engie. I don't know. I never seem to do a good job at. Ooh, opponent disagrees. Really? Okay, I think they're just gonna go for Manticores. Fine, I guess. What? What is this? Are we putting down a Xeno right away? Or are we doing something else? 2 splitters into Manticore, maybe? If this is a good player 2 Manticore line, I'm excited to learn it. I do want blue though, because they're gonna have some attack next turn, and I wouldn't mind blocking it. What if they build they can't even really they could build Thermite Shredder Gauss Cannon, I guess, if they wanted to do something more aggressive. Against which I just won't build a wall. That's fine, I guess. No, Xeno. Why so few drones for this Xeno, though? Why do you want the Xeno so fast? 2 Shredders into Manticore? Shredder Thermite? Ah, Shredder Thermite something. That seems pretty good. I didn't mean to hit the drone button there, but actually it's probably a pretty reasonable play. Um, opponent can't really punish Colossuses here except by denying them Absorb. So I could consider heading in that direction. I guess we get a Xeno. What if I just got a Xeno and a Thermite Core? Then next turn I could get like Manticore something. This seems okay. I can't get a Xeno. What am I even thinking? Yeah. I don't have any green. Okay. Well, I think I do want a Manticore and a Shredder. Splitter. Splitter is the word that I meant. I'm not going to build a defender to, like, enable their absorb denial. I could build an Apollo, but I don't think the opponent's going to let me get any value out of it. I don't like this. I kind of need a wall. I don't know. Maybe this Manticore sucks. Maybe instead of doing that, I can get a Thermite and another attacker, say a Xeno. Hold one drone. And then I can pick up a Colossus. Is Colossus good, though? Doesn't feel great. It's just a little too soon. They can deny me all the good value from it. And they caught up on drones. Caught up on drones, ahead in attack. I don't like those as ways to describe my opponent's position. Maybe all these NGs were an overreaction, but I don't think so. They're going to be able to threaten quite a lot. You could do that, but it's not much better than just clicking your Manticore, right? Okay. I don't like this wall, but, like, because they're going to deny it out. Like, they're not going to attack, so the wall is not doing much. But it is, like, counteracting some pixies that they're about to build, right? Still don't think it's really Colossus time. Yeah, I mean, like, they only have 6 permanent attack, and they can hold it all back if they want. So Colossus is just no good at all. I could build Tarsiers, I guess. But I already have enough blue that I don't need to buy red to build attackers if they're not amazing. Just not sure what else to do here. It'd be nice to get a splitter instead of this wall, but I don't think I could really comfortably convert it to a Manticore anyway, right? I guess I'll just get NGs. This feels like too many, but I need to do something to combat all these pixies. They can still deny all absorb value, so... Ugh. This is gross. Obviously can't buy shredders. I guess I can get another thermite. Like this? I could cut this and get another thermite and stop clicking my manticores, I guess. No, that doesn't work. Not well, anyway. Please forget to click your thermites. I can't imagine that's a thing that you're gonna do. No. I'm just way down on attack here. I've been converting my manticores into money, which is not efficient compared to converting it into pixies, but I haven't been able to like comfortably put down the thermite cores. I would need to do something else. Maybe I should have force fielded at some point here. To let me get in another attacker. I'm not sure exactly when I had that chance, but probably I did. This is the worst. I could just buy some more thermites and stop clicking the manticores, I guess. Maybe this way I'm clicking one manticore still? Yeah. Okay. Wall supplies? Not really relevant. Is it time yet to build doomed walls? I believe it is perfectly fine to build a doomed wall at this point. It's gonna get value by the time these thermites are expiring, right? So, well, actually 4, 5, 6. They can still click all the thermites on this turn if they click 2 manticores, and 2 turns from now they might do the same thing again? That's a bit awkward. I mean, I still feel like I'm definitely losing. Oh, I'm so jealous of being able to buy all those engineers. Okay, but I'm pretty sure... A, that I can't keep clicking thermites, so I might as well just buy a Gauss cannon. And B, by the time this doomed wall is expiring, they will have to be attacking me. So, I will buy the doomed wall. Yeah, I don't know. Well, boy, if I buy shredders, though, then they can deny me doomed wall values, so I can't do that. It's sort of a problem. Yeah, they're out of NGs. Okay, that's good to know. So, first of all, there's no way to get value by not clicking stuff, so we're going in here. The one doomed wall defends, and I guess we just get this and see what happens, right? I'm really happy to have 3 Xenos right now. Although I guess I don't, do I? Whoops. I only have 1. Oh, I have 2. How did that happen? I don't know. Is there some way I could get out a shredder? Because that would be great. The problem is I don't think there is. I basically just have to like build this wall. Well, I mean, I could build what? A wall and 2 force fields in a shredder, I guess? That's probably better. I need to make use of this green somehow, and just building a bunch of walls is not going to do it. Got him! Oh man, that's not exactly like a really satisfying way to use thermites, but it is one. Yeah, I don't think supplies are going to be relevant. Running out of drones is going to be the problem. I'd rather have 2 pixies than $3, probably. And this is a slight exploit, so I like this. Supposing that I would like to build a shredder, what else can I do? Not much, huh? Well, clearly a Xeno is better than a Shredder, right? Yeah. Let's try this. My opponent has so many drones. This should not be allowed. Oh, and I'm behind on attack too, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I thought for a while that I had some chance, but clearly I do not. So, I don't know. I guess Thermite Core and Manticore together make up a good reason to not get Third Engineer right away. They both reward early attack, and I knew that, but I don't know. Whenever I try to like do something where I just get Manticores as my early high and like as my early attempt at high econ, it never seems to work out. But you don't really have to do that here, right? You can build Thermites first, and after, say, a Xeno, which is nice. You know, I'm basically just sort of describing what my opponent did, I guess. But, I'm perfectly comfortable in Thermite sets with going a relatively low econ because I know that Thermite encourages early attack. And I guess that my prior experience with Manticore, where I've tried to go like Manticores quickly and that's not worked out, that prior experience has sort of discouraged me from trying anything like it here. But I didn't really consider that even if I'm right about not being good at building Manticores, like, Thermite's still good. And Xeno, in a way, synergizes with Thermite. I mean, Thermite also sort of counters Xeno, right? Xeno's about being a big absorber, and Thermite is about denying absorb. You know, Xeno's also about being vigilant so that it's okay if your opponent attacks it, but more or less you would say like Xeno Guardian is weaker when Thermite is in the set, I think. However, both of them have low-cost ways to spend blue, right? You spend 2 blue on a Xeno, and then you're like, well, I don't have that many drones because I rushed out the Xeno, but you can still spend 2 blue quite comfortably on Thermite plus something, right? And then there's Manticore, another cheap way to spend blue. So I think that my opponent just had the right idea getting the Thermites going sooner. I couldn't quite figure out how to do it properly, and I spent a lot more time clicking Manticores to get money instead of clicking Thermites to get pixies, which is, you know, fine, but, you know, the Thermite core definitely has a better exchange rate, so to speak. So where possible, you would prefer to be playing that. We all blew our pixies at the same time. It was very exciting, but, you know, when the dust settled, I'm down a Manticore, I'm down a Gauss Cannon, I'm up a Xeno and a Steel Splitter, so like that's down 1 attack, roughly, overall. And I'm also down like 5 drones, so like awful. Maybe just 3 drones, depending on like, you know, which half turn you look at it, but still down. I don't really have much going for me at this point. I thought maybe the extra soak from Xeno would somehow help. And the little exploit I was able to get on this Shredder was actually pretty important, but not enough to make any real difference. Alright, well, let's try to get another game this episode. I don't know. I've been making shorter ones, and I'm reasonably happy with that, but I also like to get a win in, you know? And I'll just after this episode, I'll just go record another and I can win then. But it's nice to have a win in an episode. Feels bad to upload something where it's just like you lose. Well, there's just one match on, Volcanic versus Sinks. What's going on here? Sinks has taken the more aggressive line with Blood Ragers, where Volcanic seems to be working more on economy, and I suppose eventually Matrix, since he has blue and Sinks doesn't, but maybe actually Bombarder is the thing. I thought we might see Fangs, but it seems like outrageously greedy to go for Fangs against someone who's set up to double Rager you and have like 10 damage before you build your first Fang. Yeah. I like Sinks' position here. He's only down 5 drones too. Like that's a lot for sure, but okay, 5 drones and a blast forge, right? He doesn't have access to blue. But so far, Volcanic's blue has been doing him no good at all. Just getting it Blood Ragered. And I assume that will continue again this turn. Maybe not. Maybe you hold the Rhino for some reason? Okay. I see. Threatening... Yeah, right. This turn the Double Rager is like okay, but not great. And by attacking with the Rhino and just building a Tarsier, you preserve the threat of Double Rager next turn. If the opponent builds a Matrix, you can Double Rager it. Raw Toast. I've heard of this person. I don't remember if I played against them. Base +5. Very green defenders, sort of. Like, I mean, Proto's an attacker, of course, but... And Thunderhead's sort of somewhere in the middle. All these units are like pressure units, really, right? Except for Plexo, which is... So the thing about Plexo is that it's very weak against threat, like Grenade Mech Pixies and Protoplasm. If your opponent builds too many Plexos, you just hold your attack. So I think actually Plexo is not so great here, whatever your opponent is doing. Given that, what exactly do you want? Do you want Grenade Mechs or do you want Protos? You probably can't have both. Grenade Mech has like quasi-synergy with Steel Forge, because Steel Forge makes it cheaper to build Grenade Mechs, but it means you can't sell back your blue. But you can click Steel Forge, right? So that's another way to spend your blue. So you could try some sort of like green-blue thing where you get a Thunderhead at some point. But I think you're going to be left with more green than you really want. Like, what can you spend on Gauss Cannons? I guess you could try to go Thunderhead into... I mean, obviously, like, Plexos, right? But your opponent should be making Plexo bad, so it would be Gauss Cannons, I think. Maybe, like, Thunderhead into Gauss Cannons, Grenade Mechs, and clicking Steel Forge is, like, playable? Not sure. Here, I think DDC is fine. I'm sort of honestly angling towards Protoplasm as just like the best single unit here. But I'm worried about the fact that Steel Forge synergizes with these other 2 blue units, right? It's basically like these 3 against this 1. And I worry that if I pick the wrong one, I'm going to get steamrolled a bit here. But, like, the other thing is, what's the best attacker in this set? What do you want to attack with? And I think the answer is Tarsier, right? An opponent's Thunder... Oh, also, yeah, wow. Thunderhead is going to look awful against protoplasms, right? So if the opponent tries to do that, I think you just get like a couple Tarsiers and then you proto every turn and don't attack with them. And then when the Thunderhead goes down, the opponent just has a gigantic problem on their hands. So I think we just want to go Fastness into Tarsiers. Pick up another Conduit eventually. Grenade Mech, though, plays around the Protoplasm threat pretty well. It threatens against Protoplasm, which is not really what you want as a Protoplasm player. I don't know, I could still go DDB, but I think Protos and Tarsiers are too good to pass up here. Red and blue and green. Now that I did not expect. This seems like too much tech. What are you spending it all on? It'll be exciting to see. The only thing I could do differently this turn is I could get a Conduit instead of 2 drones, but I think that that's unnecessary. I don't need a bunch of green yet until it's time to start protoing. I could get a Blast Forge, but I don't think walls are very important this game. Oh my goodness, the tech. I think I'll just go TTCE here. Building a Rhino to defend against one threat is pretty awful. I could skip the Conduit still. I don't need it yet. And when it does come time to Protoplasm, I guess I will have plenty of green still and plenty of money that I can like Proto Conduit. On the other hand, the opponent isn't doing anything that actually hurts Plexo. So I kind of have that available, which is a nice surprise. And if I wanted to like Plexo and Proto, I would need a lot of green. The other thing I could do, obviously, is just build a Gauss Cannon here. But I feel like I'm going to be in a slightly uncomfortable position next turn if I don't build any NGs. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I can Proto... Yeah. I think I can do that. I can Proto plus, if I need to, Force Field. That's like assuming they build a lot of attack, which I don't think they really can do, right? We're gonna have 2, maybe 3, 5 at the absolute most, and that seems pretty far-fetched. I would expect more like 3 or 4, against which Proto should be fine. And the Gauss Cannon makes it a bit harder for them to actually click the splitter, so I think I'll take it. I could build a Rhino, actually, but I like Tarsiers. Right? Rhino against this Steel Splitter threat is not as good as just building more attack. Okay, so they look like maybe they want to try some sort of Thunderhead thing, perhaps? But I think they're too late. I'll be up to, this is 6. I should be up to 11 by the time that hits, right? I really need an engineer. Okay, so let's suppose they put down a Thunderhead. Then they're attacking for 7. Proto Force Field defends. Right? Meanwhile, I have 5, 6, 7, and the Proto is 11, so it kills the Thunderhead. This seems perfect against Thunderhead. And if they don't Thunderhead, they're just like in super bad shape. double check here. 5, 6, 7, 11. Yeah. Okay. Proto force field conduit. NG is the next turn. Yeah. I could Plexo. Should I Plexo? They're attacking for guaranteed 6. So Plexo might just be a 3 health force field, but I think that that is still worthwhile. It gives them a free splitter hold, right? But it saves 2 NGs. And the splitter hold doesn't even do anything, right? Because they're absorbing on Thunderhead, or while I'm killing it. So I should imagine they're clicking the splitter for sure, in which case the Plexo exactly saves 2 NGs and seems friggin' great. Proto this turn? Oh no. That doesn't seem very good. But, okay, you could transition into Protos plus Steelforge clicks, I guess. And I'm building another Proto here for sure. I'd kind of like some more tech, but I'm not sure, because I don't want just Protos every turn. I'm floating a little bit of money, but I'm not sure what else it should be. Maybe just another conduit? Because I can fit in a drone if I do that, right? I'm threatening 10 next turn. My opponent can't really attack for that much more. I guess I can click the Forge if they don't want to build any blue. But they can't Proto, so if they do that, that's fine with me. I'm only really worried about them building a Proto. So say I do this. I have Proto, Gauss Cannon, NG. That seems alright. And if I don't need to do that, then like I can save this up for Plexos. The opponent's not really in a position to deny me that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think Thunderhead was just the wrong idea here. You might have been able to do something with Grenade Mechs and Steelforge, perhaps, but if you're going to do that, I don't think you can have this Animus. It's just too much tech to spend. Yeah. Anything like that I could have done differently in an interesting way. This is interesting a bit, like losing the NG, or at any rate offering to lose the NG if they click their splitter. I think it was correct, but I mean, you could argue for a Rhino here, maybe. Not here. Here. This could be a Rhino, but if it is, like, what exactly are you doing with your, like, where are you finding the dollar, right? You could cut the Gauss Cannon to build a drone, but you're still floating too. I think the Tarsier is better, and just it's sort of difficult for them to click this Steel Splitter, right? I don't know. Like, they have to build a wall, and they don't super mind, I guess. It's not that hard. But, if I build a Rhino on this turn, then they like hold the Steel Splitter for free, might as well, and that gives them some defensive tempo, which they can use to do, I don't know, whatever. Probably nothing too exciting, but when the Rhino's getting so little value, why bother, right? And I'm glad I thought some more about this play and realized, like, that the Plexo is actually getting full value whether it looks like it or not. I've made mistakes like this before, I think, where I don't get the Plexo because, or something like it anyway, where I sort of say, oh, I'm giving my opponent a free hold of a thing, but if holding it is not productive, then that's not very interesting, right? Here it's free, but it also gains them nothing since Splitter is what's Thunderhead is what's defending. Yeah, that Thunderhead feels very sad. Did I So I know I planned out on this turn that I would be able to respond to Thunderhead with Plexo. I didn't really think about it the turn before this. But I guess the turn before this, it was still pretty clear to me that if they went for a Thunderhead, they'd lose. So I didn't really think too hard about it. Then when we get here and they're saying, I plan to buy a Thunderhead, it's like, alright, I better double check that I can handle it. I guess I did sort of not think it totally through because my plan involved a force field and not a Plexo. But by the time this turn came around, I realized it, at least. That was good enough. I realized on this turn that I had a response to Plexo, and therefore I was fine, to Thunderhead. And then on this turn, I figured out a better response, which is great, a good use of my time. When your opponent commits to a line that loses... Before your opponent commits to a line, make sure that you can beat it. And then when they do commit to something that you think is losing, make sure you beat it as hard as you can. That seems like a reasonable order of priorities to have. This turn, by the way, I was probably holding back the Plexo. God, I've said Plexo a lot. Like, pretty much every unit in this set is Plexo, as far as I'm concerned. I was holding back the Proto. If they committed this turn, because it exploits a bit. It gives them the opportunity to keep 4 health alive, but they can't, so they can only keep Wall alive and Proto absorbs for 2. In case that turns out to matter. I don't think I said that during the game, but it was very, very much on my mind. Seeing a defense like this looks very exploitable, because there's nothing with 1 health and nothing with 2, so like if you can do any kind of flexible attack, that's useful. Here, my only flexible attack is for 4, but they can't keep 4 health alive either. So, I mean, actually, they can. Right? If I just attack for 6, they absorb onto Wall and keep Proto alive. Which is clearly the correct play for my opponent if I attack for 6. So is it worth my spending 4 damage to deal 3 damage to a Proto? No, that's not what it would mean, right? It would be... I should think of it as killing a wall, right? Would I click Proto to kill a wall and deal 3 damage to a Proto? That seems great, doesn't it? What am I doing wrong? How is it that I think this 4 damage click is dealing 6 damage? I guess it's because the wall absorbs for 2 in one line and for 0 in the other, right? Okay, so my plan of holding back Proto was actually awful. I hope I would have caught it in time. I think the opponent's wall and the... If it were just killing a wall, I don't think it would be worth it. Because, you know, you can kill a wall anytime with 4 damage. However, it's killing a wall and dealing 3 damage to a Proto, which is not super useful, but it's not nothing, right? If they have this Proto lying around, they have more options. They can use it as an absorber on some future turn if that's convenient. or whatever. And by attacking, I just reduce their options. So I think I should actually click here. Whether I would have is another issue. By the way, why the opponent's resignation, like, I guess they're down a bit. Yeah, I mean, I have more soak and I have 1 more attack and 2 more drones, but they have blue? I don't know, like, it feels like they're way behind, but I can't see exactly why, right? All of the numbers are like, yeah, they're behind, but not by a lot. So why is it that I feel like actually they're way behind? I don't think I want a Plexo here, or another conduit for Plexos. Yeah, I just want this. Actually, maybe I should get a Forge? Proto Force Field Wall or something is like a defense I can have regularly. I don't know. Maybe this is just better. And I might as well attack. Holding it doesn't do anything interesting. Yeah, I'm attacking for 10, which is sort of hard to cope with. Yeah, okay. They are indeed quite dead. Understood. Alright. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.